according to the question Jose stated about the statement, the reconciliation with dark past betrayed the deep moral perversion inherent to a world based on the inexistence of the Nietzschean return. Everything would be forgiven in advance and so cynically allowed. So what Kundera is trying to explain is that if the idea of Nietzsche of the eternal return was true, was existed, it would mean the world would fall into a deep moral perversion. What does this mean? For example, if you live your life, then die, and then come back in the second life, as Nietzsche proposes, you would supposedly have this second life to compare it to your first life in order to improve yourself and to become the Übermensch, as he puts it. So, what Kundera is trying to say is that whatever you did in the first life is not going to matter because you will have always a second, a third life for you to improve what you did in your previous life. He says that if this is the case, that this eternal return does indeed happen, this is going to be what is going to occur. People are gonna do many bad things in their previous lives and try to improve themselves. However, if this eternal return doesn't happen and the only life you have is the first one, then all that evil you did, all those bad decisions you made in your first life are gonna be permanent for you. Are gonna be the only decisions, the only things you actually did. So what he's trying to say is that if the eternal return doesn't indeed exist, everything you would do in life would be light, would have no real meaning to it. According to Aristotle, people become moral perverts by redoing and repeating several bad actions over and over again. For example, the action of lying, the action of cheating, and these become a habit. This is how people become morally corrupt. They made a they make a habit of doing these bad actions. However, if we take what Kundera states in The Unbearable Lightness of Being in his book, this if we reconcile with the dark past, if we accept what we did was wrong and try to change upon it, not in the next life but in this life, uh, we could be able to escape this deep moral perversion, as he puts it. And thus, if this eternal return doesn't exist, not everything will be forgiven in advance because you only have one life, and what you did in that life would be the determining factor of what was your apports, your whatever you did in the world, and not everything would be cynically allowed because you wouldn't have the chance to in the second life try to fix your mistakes. If you committed a mistake in your first life, that would be permanent. You won't have a way to return and improve yourself. So, in conclusion, Kundera's idea of lightness functions if the eternal return of Nietzsche functions, in the sense that whatever you did in your previous lives won't matter. It is just a point of comparison between your actual life and whatever you did in the past. However, as this eternal return doesn't exist, or if it did exist, we wouldn't have no memory of our previous life. Uh, the actions we make, the actions we make would be determining who we were, what we gave to the world, and our moral convictions, to say the least. Mm, in a world where this eternal return doesn't exist, whatever you do would be permanent. So, in a sense, not everything would be allowed because there would be no way to actually turn to the past and fix it. And not everything would be forgiven because if you die, then that's it. Unlike what Nietzsche says, that whatever you did in the past doesn't matter because you have a new life to compensate for it.